I don't care who you are watching this right now. You're not, unless you just got your first job yesterday, right? You are not willing to go back and accept what you made from your first job as payment for work you do now. You're just not willing to do that. None of us are. Why? So what's the difference? Why was I willing to work for $1.55 an hour back then? Or $6.25 an hour back then, and now I'm not even willing to work for less than $40,000 an hour. And I know, and I did that on purpose because I know you're thinking, well, $40,000 an hour, that's ridiculous. Right, it is ridiculous, but it's no more ridiculous than $1.55 an hour. In fact, I submit to you. Today about this. Get rich quick, or get rich fast and slow. Or I could say get rich quick and slow. But what I really want to show you today is I want to show you the value of getting rich quick and getting rich slow and staying rich for the rest of your life so you can pass on a legacy to your children and your children's children. That's what I want to talk to you about. So it's very, very important that the name of this video is Get Rich Quick and Slow. So here's the reality. You want to get rich. Here's what you really want to do. You want to get rich fast, create wealth slowly. So you get rich quick. You make money really, really fast, and then you invest that money so it multiplies really, really slowly over a long period of time. And so, as I'm looking at my money machines, I've got my fast money machine. So I got my fast money machine over here. It's got these gears up here, and it just cranks out money, and it cranks out money. It's got this little chain thing, and it just spits out money. That's my fast money machine, right? Then I've got my slow money machine. My slow money machine is the real estate, it's the stock market investments, it's the cryptocurrency, it's all that stuff. So this is slow. But the slow money machine is only slow when it's small. As you take more of this money and put it in this machine gets bigger, and as it gets bigger, even though it's only cranking out a small percentage, it's doing that with a larger amount of money. Do you realize if you have $1 million, you get 10% a year, that's $100,000 a year off your money. But if you have $10 million and you get 10% a year, that's $1 million a year just off your money. If you have $100 million and you get 10% a year, that's $10 million a year. So all of us should have the objective, get this fast money machine built first, take some of the money from the fast money machine, put it into the slow money machine, build this slow money machine consistently, and over time, the objective is eventually for this to produce more money than this. Because your slow money will eventually become your fast money, and it's the way that you maintain generational wealth for the rest of your life. Then you teach your children about the fast money and the slow money. It's a much less ridiculous, right? And the reality is, everybody tap yourself on the chest, say me, you have decided that there is an amount of money that you will work for, and there are amounts of money you won't work for. Now let me ask you a question. Who is the one that set that standard? Everybody tap yourself on the chest, say, I did. That's right, you did it. So the amount of money that you get paid right now, whatever that is, you did it to yourself. So if you establish the current standard, you establish past standards, why can't you establish a new standard? And I was talking to the folks here this morning, and I said, I don't know if you ever thought about it, but why are so many people in a country where so much wealth has been created over the last several centuries, and even more over the last couple of decades? Yeah, inflation is real, and inflation has devalued the dollar and made it worth 98% less than it was worth 40 years ago. I get that, but still, there's still a lot of abundance in the world. And my question is, why are most people struggling financially? And I don't understand that if you're going to get rich, the first thing you have to do is you have to get rich quickly. Now, I'm not talking about okay, all you got to do is buy my secret money printing software and push a button and go to bed and you wake up richer. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm just talking about when I say get rich quick, I'm talking about in your lifetime, right? And all of us have learned to get rich quicker than we used to when we first started working. I don't know how long you've been working, but I've been working since I was 14. Money. Now, one of the things that my parents did for us that I thought they were doing to us when I was a child, one of the things my parents did for us was they made us, when we started working, they made us contribute to the expenses of the household. Now, I never did that with my children because I didn't like the fact that my parents did it with me, right? I'm just keeping it real. But you have to understand that my parents doing that quote to me, they also did it for me because they helped me realize at an early age that life cost money, right? Now, I didn't do that for my children, but the fact that I didn't do it for them means I also did it to them because I didn't teach them at an early age that, like, in order to have money, you gotta go, like, in order to have nice things, you gotta go work for your own money to have them. So I didn't give my children money. I gave them opportunities to work, but I didn't make them pay bills. I didn't make them pay my bills. I felt like that was my responsibility, right? And so everybody has a different paradigm. Just understand that regardless of how your parents did it or how you do it as a parent, that equation has two sides. And everything that you do for somebody, you're also doing something to them, and everything you do to somebody, you're doing something for them. So we have to just learn how to focus on the aspect of the thing that empowers us instead of the thing that makes us angry and bitter and irritated and frustrated and like mad at the world, right? So you just have to learn how to focus on the other side. And so I made $1.55 an hour. Now, there's no universe at your first job. How much did you make at your very first job, if you can remember, or one of your first jobs? I remember my first job, how much I made my first job working. This is my first job working. This is my first job ever. I remember my first job as a married man. The first job that I ever got after I got married. So I got married when I was 25, and I didn't have a job for 2 years. I just basically bought old cars, fixed them up, and sold them. Sometimes I would sell old cars, and then I would get an old car, I'd get somebody to give me their old car until I fixed it up, and then I would go and sell it, and then when the person brought me the money, I would take that person with me to the person's house I got the car from. I would pay the person for the car that I got from, they would give me the title, and then I would sign it over to the new person. Like, I was very creative, right? Because I didn't have the money to buy the car up front, so what I would do is I would acquire the car, and then sell the car, and then pay for the car, and then keep the difference. Right? So that's what I did for the first couple of years of my married life. And I'm telling you that because, like, a lot of people see where you are now and they think that you were an overnight success, and I was an overnight success. It was just a 14-year night. Okay, so it was a very, 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 very long night. And so I remember my first job as a married man. Now, I'm married. I've got one child. I've got an apartment. I've got I have a car. And now I've got, like, electric bill to pay, gas bill to pay, water bill to pay, telephone bill, not cell phone, like the one that used to hang on the wall with the wire on it that connected you to the house, that one. So I had a phone bill to pay. So I had all these bills to pay. And I remember my first job as a married man. And this, by the way, was in I was 27. So that would have been in 1986, or 87. I made $6.25 an hour driving a trash truck. Now, here's why I wanted you to write down how much money you made when you first got your first job. I want you to think about the question I'm about to ask you. Is there any universe in which you would allow yourself to accept that as pay for work you do now? No. That's a good question, right? And so, but I am not willing to do this work right here anymore for any less than this amount right here. Now, why is it important that you get rich quick? Here's why it's important that you get rich quick. Because wealth is measured more in time than it is in money. If you make $1 million, are you rich? Well, it depends. If you make $25,000 a year, right? $25,000 a year, and you work for 40 years, you've made $1 million. Question, not a trick question at all. Are you rich? No, you're not rich. But what if you make the same $1 million in 1 year? Now, are you rich? 100%. Not only are you rich, you're 40 times richer than this person, even though y'all both made the same amount of money. What's the difference? How long it took you to miss the point? The point is $25,000 a year over 40 years is $1 million. $1 million a year is $1 million. Well, what if you make $1 million a month? Now are you rich? Well, yeah, now you're rich. How rich are you? You're 12 times richer than this person. You're 480 times richer than that person. So you can see clearly that wealth is measured more in time than it is in money. And see one of the reasons so many people are broke is because we've been duped into believing that time is money. And so we see time and money as equals, and time and money are not equals. And in fact, when we say time is money, because our cognitive awareness doesn't hold truth for very long, we remember the last thing we said, time is money. And so what we actually end up doing is we actually end up valuing money more than we value time. Most people value money more than they value time, but if they slowed down long enough to think about it, they would value time more than they value money, right? Because I could say to you, I tell you what I'll do. I'll write anybody in here $1 million check. Who wants one? Who wants $1 million check? Everybody, right? But there's one stipulation. You have to end your life today. Now who wants it? Nobody wants it, right? Why? Because you already intuitively and intrinsically value time more than you value money, even though you don't know how much time you have left. However much time I got left, I value it more than I value $1 million. How many of y'all tracking? And so what we have to do is we have to operate. So when we have to operate from that perspective. So we intuitively and intrinsically know that time is more valuable than money. But we don't operate like that. We operate like we believe that money is more valuable than time. And that's why poor people are poor. One of the main reasons, because they sell a whole bunch of their time for a little bit of somebody else's money. And by the time they get some time for themselves, when they come home at night, they don't have enough mental bandwidth or physical energy left to go and operate in their creative space. And so now you've used up all your energy building somebody else's dream, and you don't have any time, effort, energy, or left to build your own dream. And they're not paying you enough money to build your own dream, right? So now you're like stuck. But not only when we value money more than we value time, do we sell a whole bunch of our time for a little bit of somebody else's money, but the next thing we do is we waste a whole bunch of time trying to save a little bit of money. Now that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna give you a piece of advice that will make you rich. It'll contribute to your wealth. It won't make you rich. It'll contribute to your wealth. Y'all ready? Stop going to Walmart. No offense, Walmart, but the thing is too big. It wastes too much time. You know what you want me to say? You want me to get you a little richer? Stop going to the store, period. It's such a huge waste of time, right? See, I promise you, one of the reasons people who are richer than you is because they value time more than you do. It'll change your life. It'll change your life when you stop wasting time to save money. So what we got to do is we got to get to the place in our lives where instead of wasting time to save money, we invest our time to multiply money. But better than that, we use our money to get time back instead of using time to get money back. And if I had to trade all of my money to get more time, I would do it. If I had to trade all of my time to get more money, I wouldn't do that. Ever. How many of y'all tracking? And see, most people don't get that relationship, and so they stay stuck because they keep valuing money more than they value time. How many of y'all tracking? Wave at me, my peeps. Okay, so what we have to do, we want to get rich. We want to get rich because one of the reasons you want to get rich fast is because time is more valuable than money. And wealth is measured more in time than it is in money. And so when you have a lot of money, here's what you can do. You can start buying back your life. All that. How many of y'all love cleaning your house? You just love cleaning your house, right? Pay somebody to do that. I just love cutting the grass. It's so therapeutic. The reason you think it's therapeutic is because you've never sat inside in the air conditioner drinking a tall glass of water, watching somebody else cut it. Now that's therapeutic. Buy back your time. I pay somebody to clean the pool. I pay somebody to fix the car. Yes, I could fix the car. Yes, I could figure out how to clean the pool. Yes, I could cut the grass. But why would I do that when I can instead operate at the higher two levels of value, communication and imagination, and let somebody else do that implementation work? It's in Genesis chapter 1, y'all. Okay, so I gotta go. So here's the other reason. You want to get rid of the problem. Here's one of your problems. The reason you don't value time is because you've been alive your whole life, so you think you're gonna live forever. Am I talking too fast? Right? You've been alive your whole life, so you think this is because this is the way it's been, that's the way it's gonna be. But I am here to tell you, like if I could have had me talking to me, I wish I could have had me in my ear when I was in my 20s. I'd have got this deal done a long time ago. Because the reality is, like, there are things, my mom was so proud of her 7 sons, and she thought we could just do anything. Back then, she might have been a little delusional, right? But she believed in us, right? And and my dad taught us things, and my mom taught us things, and they believed in our ability to do. But my dad got to see some of it, us experiencing life at the level that we're at now. And by the way, money doesn't solve all your problems, but it does solve a lot of your money problems. Right? Now, if you give me a choice, you need to get rich quick or stay broke for the rest of life. Which one am I going to take? I'm going to take the get rich quick every time. Now, and then they can maintain it. Does this make sense? And so what we have to do is we have to become more cognitively aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Because here's the reality. Most of y'all, if you're watching me right now and you're listening to me right now, you're already smart. You already know stuff, right? You wouldn't be watching a video called Get Rich Fast and Slow if you weren't already smart. So why aren't you rich? Because the cultural hypnotic societal mechanism programs you to be broke. In our culture, there is a hypnotic mechanism that hypnotizes our society to be sick, broke, misinformed, and fearful. Because sick, broke, misinformed, and fearful people are easier to control than healthy, wealthy, well-informed, and courageous people. The system wants to use you as a puppet. And so what you got to do is you got to free up your mind from all of the lies that you've been programmed to believe. You're working on retirement while you're broke. That doesn't make any sense. Why are you saving for retirement when you're broke? What you should be doing while you're broke is figuring out how to make more money and then build a business that can fund your retirement program and fund your lifestyle. Do both at the same time. But get the money fast first. Get the fast money first. One of my coaches, Russell Brunson, he always says, he's like, dude, I don't know why you're doing all this hard stuff. There's a big pile of money right on the table, right in front of you. Here's what you do. Get the big pile of money first. After you get the big pile of money, then go do all that other stuff. I'm like, that makes so much sense. But almost nobody does it. So get rich quick, get rich slow, get rich fast, create wealth slowly, and then sustain it for generations by teaching your children these principles. It'll change your life for the rest of your life. And that's why it's important that you both get rich quick and you get rich slow. Like, let's start a